Dax and Aleeza. Welcome to our studio. It's your first time here, right?
Yes.
So how are you guys? Kamusta naman kayo?
We're good.
What have you guys been up to lately? I mean, I've been seeing a lot of running on Instagram stories.
Yes. Yeah. So we've been trying to run. So over the past few months, we've hit several milestones in terms of our running journey. So at the start, we did 15K, and then after a few months, we did 21K together, and then our next target, a month from now, it's 32K. And by the end of the year,
we get it done.
Yeah, and by the end of the year, the full marathon. So we'll see. We'll see.
Plans, we have plans to run a full marathon. Pero let's see, life happens.
Yeah,
every now and
literally
then,
life
so
happens. Every time we
we'll
try
see.
to run, we end up eating and drinking.
That's the life happens
Yeah.
part.
Parang sometimes it's okay, we're in a running era.
Yeah.
And then may weeks na puro inuman.
Yeah, but
So,
it's always like that. That's
yeah.
a pattern. We run at night, and then after that, we end up eating out and then inviting our friends to go drink with us sa condo. So it's like what we worked out that night
Parang
got
what-
negated. So wala.
You guys run with your friends ba? Or ano?
Normally, it's us, and then we invite our friends to join us once in a while. Yeah.
Cute. So let's talk about the whole married life.
Yeah.
How long has it been since the wedding?
7 months, right?
Yeah, 7
7
months.
months.
Lang.
Yeah.
A little over 7 months.
Yeah.
Pero parang feeling ko a year na. No? Parang feeling ko ang
Yeah.
tagal na.
Oh yeah, it feels like
Feels like, sa akin, feels like yesterday. Feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
Can you share more about the married life? Like, how's it been? How's married life so far?
Siguro for me, it's been a lot of fun, no? Kasi before we got married, we dated for a few years na. So, when we started living with each other, I got to know her more deeply. And yeah, yun yung pinaka-fun part. So, the day-to-day, actually. So, after all of the hype nung wedding, it's the day-to-day na parang really would set yung tone ng lives nyo. So, for me, yun siya. Like, for example, sino magluluto tomorrow or today. So, it's like maraming give and take. No, na nangyayari. So, yeah. Discovering that about each other is really the highlight of the whole marriage thing so far.
For me, it's as what my married friends would always say, it's an only sleepover. And it's always fun. They always say it's so fun. But beneath all of that, there's a lot of, work also that goes into a marriage. And as what he said, it's a lot of give and take, a lot of compromises, and a lot of discoveries. And over the past 7 years, 7 months.
Medyo pahaba ng pahaba.
Over the past 7 months, we learned a lot from each other that we never thought we would. We always thought that we knew each other deeply already. But over the past few months, we learned a lot more from each other that surprises us. So for him, for example, he's very techie. So I knew that, but I never knew how intensely techie he is. He, on a good note naman, he smart homed our entire house. He created an app for us that we can monitor our groceries, our expenses. So with him being very techie, it really made our day-to-day lives a lot easier. So at first I thought, it's kind of annoying how techie he is because he wants to introduce a lot of things. But in reality, all of those additions and introductions helped a lot in terms of our day-to-day workflow.
With Aleeza naman, super chill kasi siya for the past 7 or so years of our relationship, or 8 pala. But when we moved in together, may mga quirks na na-discover ko. Like, for example, ito favorite ko talaga, pag may nagtatanong sa amin, everything has to be in the same type of bottle. Like, the shampoos, the body wash, lahat. Everything has to be uniform around the house. So, at first, may adjustment for me. But now, parang, I saw, may value pala in keeping all of those, things organized. So, not just going beyond the bathroom, everything around the house, super inorganized ni Aleeza. Visual clutter daw, she puts it. So, ayun, may konting bumps at the beginning kasi I had to get used to it. But now, parang I couldn't imagine living in a place na hindi ganun ka-organized.
So, how long have you guys been actually together ba?
8 years.
8
Yeah.
years. So, before getting married, did you guys turn 8 years na married na kayo or 8 years talaga?
You do the
Even
math.
So, 8 years total kasi we started dating in 2016 and then we got engaged 2021. So, by the time we got married, we were together na for around 7 years.
And to take us to pre-married life, how did you guys actually meet?
So we went to the same university. I actually met him through in one of our classes, Theo class. Second year?
Right.
Yeah, second year, sophomore year. His judo team, they were selling cupcakes. So they were having a cupcake drive. And then I didn't know him and he tried to sell me a cupcake. I didn't know him. So I was like, who's this random guy selling me cupcakes? So I said no.
So, wait, iko-correct ko yung statement na yun So, hindi siya nag-no. Hindi niya ako pinansin at all.
Sorry, I did not.
So, magkaiba yung, the way I remember it. So, I was, selling her itong cupcakes na to. And then,
But
she acted like I wasn't there.
yeah,
So,
but,
yun yung unabridged story of how we met.
that's already telling that it's a no.
Baka yun na nga. Baka yun nga yung form ng no na
Yeah.
you were giving me.
Yeah, but I ended up buying from my blockmate, who's also his teammate.
A few minutes later, nung nangyari na yun. So,
Yeah.
medyo embarrassing siya for me.
Yeah.
Yun.
But then, we eventually became friends in the same circle. And then, we actually didn't date until after college. Because we were in the same barkada. And then, his office is near my office at that time. So, we started hanging out a lot. And then, yeah, we developed feelings for each other. But initially, we were just really good friends. Mm-hmm. He's actually my best friend at that time. I had a relationship before. It was a complicated
yeah.
relationship at that time, and I would always rant to him about it. And then he's always the first person that I would tell everything to. And then eventually I realized I think there might be something more. It might be something more than friendship. And then it just fell into place.
So, aligned naman. Except for the cupcake part. No, so more or less.
In my
it's
head,
the same,
I was
story
aligning
from
in my
end.
head.
Yeah.
I didn't say it,
Right.
but my body language is telling no.
Pero to be honest, nung time naman, when Aleeza said na we were best friends at that time, to be honest, I was just really, a really good friend.
Yeah.
Yun lang talaga. Walang no intentions. But then, when we got to know each other, I guess, it's the same situation for me where when I got to know her better, okay, she's cool pala.
Yeah.
So, yun. Ish.
It's cool.
So, yun. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how we
it just
met.
happened organically, and it just fell into place.
Right.
Yeah.
I think yung question nila was a 2-sentence question, but
It became a saga.
Yeah.
I know the backstory,
Right.
the whole cupcake and being best friends and
Yeah.
everything. So, when you guys got engaged, I don't wanna say na Aleeza did the whole planning, no? So, let's give benefit of the doubt to Gax for him to answer. So, I'm gonna ask this question. So, who did the most of the planning for the wedding?
So, alam naman natin lahat. So, let's be honest. Yeah. So, Aleeza did most of the planning. I was in charge of a couple of suppliers lang. The rest, yun, Jesus take the wheel. Si Aleeza. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Aleeza, take us back to the whole wedding planning. What did you have in mind during that bride-to-be during that time? What was your whole vision? What were you aiming for the wedding to be like?
So honestly, I think most brides, the initial idea or the initial concept, all over the place. I wanted this, I wanted that. So there's so many ideas. And then I had to, it's always great to have a friend look at your ideas and then edit few things out, what doesn't make sense, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. So I think for me that helped in terms of narrowing out my concept. The very first thing that I did in terms of the planning, because I knew my non-negotiables were photo and vid, and then the church location. So those are the three.
Yun lang ba? Parang
What's the other one?
For me, lahat non-negotiable eh. That's how I remember it from the planning. Most of the things are non-negotiables. Yeah. Sige.
Those are second non-negotiables. Secondary non-negotiables. But my primary non-negotiables were photo and vid.
Okay.
And the church. So the church, we went together. I narrowed down a list of churches that I want to get married in. And then we did the look-see. So the very first church, and actually after that, everything did not look so great anymore. was Saint Benedict. So when we both went there, we said, "Oh my gosh, this is it." So we also visited other churches, and then it didn't give us
10 other
that
churches.
same feeling, like the aha feeling. Photo vid, I was initially helping kasi my friend before to look for suppliers for her wedding. I had a list of who the suppliers I want to get or who the suppliers that I'm thinking would be in line with my theme. So actually Pearl Studio is one of them. But I wanted to see and meet Pearl Studio in person at that time. So I went to Toast, and that was the time I pulled the trigger and I said, okay, I'm gonna book Pearl na. And at that time he was in India, so he had no say.
Maraming na.
So I just said.
Toast fair na yun.
So we have a photographer na.
Yeah.
I just put it down. You'd like it. But I mean,
Among other suppliers.
Everything fell into place.
Okay naman.
Yeah. But the overall theme that I want really for the wedding was very chill. Just people having fun, people enjoying themselves. I didn't want it all about us. I also wanted about the people. So we wanted to make sure that they're also enjoying themselves. So those are actually how I envisioned. And I wanted timeless and classic.
And
basically.
you mentioned that you were, at that time, parang you also had a chance to help your friend out. That's why you had an idea na with the suppliers.
Yeah.
But then, how did you actually hear about Pearl Studio? And what drew you to choose us for your wedding?
So I think like most brides, they would go to bride and breakfast. So we go to bride and breakfast for recommended photographers. And there was this wedding that you guys covered. It was in Lipa. I think it's at Casa Mariquit. So when I saw the photos, I immediately said, oh my gosh, this is it. They match my whole aesthetic, my whole vibe. Because the photos were very warm. There was a mood to it, but at the same time, it gives off this warmth feeling. It was very candid, not super post. It really captures the essence of the entire wedding. So I said, okay, I will get them in the future. And I did.
Thank you.
Without
Genius.
Yeah.
Happy ka naman ba, Gax, dun sa mga naging nabook niya during that time?
No, but to be
100%.
fair, I only booked
Wala ibang answer dun sa
I only
question na.
booked 2 suppliers during Toast.
So, yung kwento doon was, she booked daw like a couple of suppliers. Tapos, nag-joke siya kasi na she booked Milas Lechon.
Milas Lechon.
So, doon ako interested kasi. Like, I was interested dun sa Milas Lechon. So, sige, so day after the wedding, may lechon tayo. Like, kasi yun yung intention. Apparently, joke lang pala siya. Kasi doon ako nag-dwell eh.
Excited. Yeah, I was expecting.
Doon ako nag-dwell sa lechon the following day.
So he was so excited pa naman. So I was like,
Asa na yung lechon?
So I guess
I should have done that na lang.
Yun.
So walang lechon si Gax po.
Wala pa, actually.
Wala pa. I'll buy.
Sige,
I'll
sa
book them
anniversary
for
na lang
your
natin.
for your anniversary in a few months.
Yeah, sige.
Yeah.
We'll let you know kung natuloy. I-update namin kayo.
Update us.
Message ko kayo.
Yeah. We'll make padala. Lechon here.
So after the planning, of course, it's the wedding itself na. So what was your favorite part of your wedding? Was there any particular like moment that you guys really loved the most?
You answer first.
Me?
Yeah.
For me, my favorite moment was the wait inside the car. And then leading up to me walking down the aisle. The wait kasi parang it's very suspenseful. It's like, like in a plot, in a theatrical plot, it's the rising action and then that's the wait. So it's like anticipating. And then the climax is when you start walking down the aisle. It's like, oh, everything is magical. So I felt that way. Walking down the aisle, seeing all of our friends and family, everyone that's close to our hearts are there. It's like, I felt like they're welcoming me and making me feel like, okay, you're good to marry Gax. And it's great because at the end of the aisle, it's him. So it's like, we're handing you off to Gax. So that's how I felt like when I was walking down the aisle. So that's my favorite part out of everything. Of course, there's the after party, the reception, the after party. But for me, that's my favorite part.
For me, it's seeing her for the first time na naka-wedding dress. So when they opened the door, for me, that was the best part. Kasi sobrang curious ako like how she would look like. Kasi di ba, you can see her before the wedding and all. So yun yung pinaka-highlight for me.
But
Yun yung right answer.
that's the right answer. But
like, up until now, when I think of the wedding day, na-stress kasi ako about the vows. Kasi I crammed it eh. I always vividly remember yung feeling of writing my vows in front of the church. Kasi like, dun ko lang sinulat yung vows ko. Hindi ko talaga siya na-prepare ahead of time. So, ayun, stressful but favorite moment din.
it's a good
Close
thing to
second
say
favorite
that you
moment.
crammed your vows.
Pero from the heart yun, kahit kinraman ko siya.
That's true.
Oo,
That's actually how
Yeah.
you'll know what everything is in your heart. Yeah.
yun.
Right. The moment. Yeah. When I looked at the booklet, it was like chicken scratch. So it looked like he was rushing
No,
to
kasi
finish it.
prioritize ko yung sleep ko the night before, di ba? I mean,
Yeah.
importante din yung sleep.
That was the night before. We were also cramming our dance. We're just both crammers.
Right. Another highlight.
Yeah, another highlight. We were dancing after our welcome dinner. We started preparing for our dance in the garden with two of our other friends, and they were teaching us how to dance. They were saying, "You guys are both so tense. You guys are both so like stiff. Like, just be loosey-goosey, be fluid." So yeah, thank you to those two couples.
Friends, yeah.
So, Aleeza, what's a bride tip that you can share to future brides? As a mastermind.
So as a bride, I think it's normal to get very obsessed about the details, big or small details. But honestly, at the end of the day, that goes out of the window. And those little details you don't even notice anymore because you're too busy, savoring each moment. So I think that's my bride tip. It's just to enjoy the day. Don't worry, don't be over fixated about the small things, like, oh, something goes wrong, because you want to enjoy each other's company with the people that you love the most. I think that's what's important as a bride.
Walang budget-related advice?
Oh,
Like sticking to
budget-related.
the budget, or like planning the budget? Wala bang ganong
Fine.
advice?
If you were to say budget-related.
Groom tip pala yun, sorry.
Sige, sige.
Hindi,
What's
may
the
bride
groom
tip
tip?
din siya eh.
So what's the groom tip?
Hindi, bride tip yung sa budget eh.
Yung bride
Yeah.
tip.
Diba? I guess it's a very valid
so-
bride tip. No bride.
Yung bride tip, it's okay to go over the budget.
Okay, so,
You worry about it at the end.
hindi yun yung optics na we were hoping for, pero sige.
So, in contrary, your groom tip
Groom
would
tip,
be...
Sa akin, be aware of the budget. I guess. Set a budget. Kasi like, we set naman. Yeah,
set a lower budget just in case it goes over by a lot.
So yun, monitor the budget pala. I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
a
just,
better tip.
kasi he just let me.
Parang sabi
take
ko, Jesus
reins.
take the wheel, di ba? And then, nung mga 3 months before, when we were doing the accounting,
Shit!
yay.
Jesus, take
Ayun.
the wheel nga
Ayun
talaga.
It took the wheel naman.
Yeah, it took the wheel naman. And then yun, don't cram your vows, obviously.
Okay, so obviously during the wedding, a lot has happened. You guys weren't able to see each other right away. Gax was cramming the vows. Aleeza was feeling all emotions, and everything is just really going by so fast during the wedding. But of course, you received like tons of photos. But was there any particular photo that you guys really liked the most, or you gravitated to the most? Because you mentioned a while ago also na you were really leaning towards yung timeless and just really raw emotions and moments. So,
We have photos.
Did we bring it?
Yeah, about it. But yeah, mostly at least for me, it was those candid shots.
Yeah.
Yung favorite ko, yung
Yeah.
mga non-post ones. And you guys did a lot of those. So super
Yeah.
thankful ako for them. Kasi until now, like up until today, sometimes we just go through the album, yung digital copy that you shared with us. And then we remember kasi what happened dun sa mga moments that you captured. So, yun. For me, it was the candid shots.
Yeah, I think I'd have to say the same thing. Like, all the candid moments that were captured. Like, getting ready at the start, and then walking down the aisle, down to, like, when you handed me off, when my parents handed me off to you. Everything is captured so perfectly. And to his point, we could replay exactly what happened in those moments. Especially the time when you didn't know like which hand to hold.
Right? Na-capture yun on cam
it was
and
captured
on
on
video.
cam. And there was a photo of like me, him, my mom, my dad, and we were all just laughing.
Like yung kamay
Kasi
ko,
we're
like,
like-
it was like,
and then my hands were like-
weird. Ganun. So, na-capture din siya.
So those candid moments, I think those are
Yeah.
like our favorite ones. There's also the editorial ones during the getting ready. Yes. The getting ready. The artistic ones with, I forgot who took, is it you or was it you? With the train. Yeah, that was really nice. And getting ready with my dress. Yeah, I like that. So those are my favorite ones.
So, what can you say about like the whole experience that you had with us during the wedding?
Superb.
Yeah.
Actually, we were thinking, what else are the other synonyms for superb? Parang naman we sound so eloquent.
So, For me, siguro, what's unique about you guys as our supplier is, so with Pearl, when we met for the first time, it felt like we were friends na for a while. Even during the prenup shoot, parang we clicked right away. So I guess parang everything else followed after na parang it was comfortable just to work with you guys with the... It didn't feel like working.
Like,
Parang
yeah.
we were just hanging, parang ganun.
Yeah.
So for me, yun yung like that was the highlight for me, working with Pearl.
And it felt like we knew each other for a long time. And maybe that's why we felt very comfortable with them. Because it didn't feel like you guys are
Right.
photographers. Like, it felt like we're just each other's peers and we're friends. Just
Right.
hanging out. So it felt like that. It made taking photos a lot easier for us because we're very awkward people in front of the camera. But you guys made it feel like it was so easy, very organic, very chill for us. So I think that's what sets Pearl Studio apart from others, I guess. Yeah.
Speechless. Going back to the whole married life, more than the different discoveries, but like him being techie and you being so organized. But so far, what's like your favorite thing about being married? 7 months, right?
Yeah. My favorite thing about being married is being able to come home to each other after a long day at work or any stressful day. It's nice to be able to go home to him doing nothing. We don't have to have like something planned. Like special plan that day. Just simple, like I get greeted by him when I get home, we cook together. So it's nice. Cook together. It's nice. We learned a lot then in our past 7 months.
Yeah.
Just being with each other every day. Working from home. It's a lot of give and take also. I think that's what's great. Like we were able to find already a routine at home. So for example, if whenever he's busy, I know na okay, I should be the one to cook lunch, and then as a compromise, he will do the dishes. Or vice versa. If I know he's busy during the day, at night, he will be the one to cook for me. So it's a lot of that. And
by now, it's automatic na.
Yeah.
So like, that's what really good na you don't have to say it. Parang Aleeza can read my mind na okay, I can't help right now, but I'll help later. And at the same time, ganun din naman ako. Like, I know if she's stressed na at work or even like swamped na talaga na you can't talk to her. Parang I know na I have to bridge the gap or like pick up the slack. Yeah, it's mutual, no?
Yeah.
So for me, it's the best part.
Yeah.
Having that support system. Being constantly there.
So if there's anything like, not naman an advice, but more of something you'd like to share to future couples na getting married, what's something that you guys could share in the 7 months na they could ponder upon and be more open to when it comes to married life?
I think it's always choosing each other. Remember, you can neglect anyone. Don't neglect each other. Because at the end of the day, it's you and your partner, right? So as you learn through the married life and as you like prioritize other things also, make sure that you remember to prioritize each other also. Because you can be very busy with work, you can be very busy with your business, but you also need to make time for each other.
And then maybe like build your life around each other. So you can have your own path, but it should be anchored on each other para like you can support each other at the end of the day, which is, I think that's what's really important if you're with someone.
Thank you guys. So that actually concludes the interview. But maybe you'd like to show the viewers a special guest that we have. They've been seeing him, but please do the introductions.
So this is Kobe, our son.
So far.
This is Kobe, your son. He is.
Say hi, Kobe.
Say hi.
Who's a good boy?
He's a ball of energy.
Guys, watch out. Soon,
Watch out.
merong